Welcome to DataPencil.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our 50-day SQL practice challenge, and let's quickly begin with our day 40. Today we are going to practice the queries based on temporary tables. Alright, so let's begin. Our first query here is create temporary table for employee salary summary. Now we have studied so many things, but now what is this temporary table? So guys, basically temporary table stores data only and only for the current session. Means after closing this VS Code, the session will be closed and the temporary table will be vanished. Okay, so temporary table stores the data only for the current session. Okay, so you can say that temporary table is a short-term storage inside SQL, right? Now our first query is based on this table. We basically have to create a temporary table where we will give the summary of employee's salary. Alright, so let's see how to create a temporary table. For that, we simply have to write create temporary table and then give the name to this table. Okay, so the name is, let's give as temporary salary summary. Okay, triple M I have written. Okay, now just triple M. Fine. And then opening of parenthesis, and then whatever columns we want in this table, we will mention those columns. So we want employee ID and data type also we need to mention here. After that, the next one is total salary. Okay, and the data type is this. Fine. Now just run it. It means your table will be created by writing this code. Okay, one comma is missing here, so let's now run it again. And our temporary table is created. Okay, now the next task is to insert the values in this table. So in second query, we simply have to insert data into temporary table. Okay, it's easy, the usual way, right? So simply write insert into. Okay, insert into the name of the table. So our table is this, and then we simply have to give the reference column names. So it's employee ID and the total salary. Okay, now we will write select employee ID comma sum of salary. Okay, these are the values basically. So sum of salary, and then after that the employee ID and the sum of the salary, this we will take from our clean salaries table. After making the groups of employee ID. So this is it. By doing this, you can simply insert the value. So basically what we did here, we have to write insert into the name of our table and the reference columns. After that, we will simply select our columns that we want to insert in this temporary table. Okay, now when you will run it, after running, you can check whether your data is there or not. So simply write select all columns from which table? So from temporary table, just copy the name, okay, and then run it. So here you have employee ID and the total salary. This total salary is here by adding the salaries of each employee, because we have written here group by employee ID. I hope it's clear. So this is the basic syntax through which we can enter the values in our temporary tables, right? Now in this third query, we are going to learn how to use this temporary table for joining purpose. Okay, so join this temporary table with employees table. Suppose there is a need to join this temporary table and an existing table, correct? So for that, we will simply select our columns. So let's write select e.employee ID comma e.employee name, okay, and t.total salary. So this T means the temporary table. Okay, so right here from which table? So from cleaned employees table, and define it with the E. Join this with the temporary table. Okay, this temporary salary table, correct? And let's give it as, define it as T. On what basis? So we can say that employee ID is a common column here. So on where employee IDs are equal in both the tables. So E.employee ID and T.employee ID. All right. Now let's run it. E.employee. Okay. Now let's run it again. It's done, guys, right? We have joined two tables. Now you can see we have employee ID, employee name, and total salary, correct? So this is the way by which we can simply join our temporary table with our existing table. Now if there is a need to drop this table, so how you can drop? So let's write here, drop your temporary table. And for that, you know how you can drop. You have to simply write drop the name of your table, but before that we will write temporary table and then the name of this table. Just run it. After running, this table will get deleted. All right, this is one way, right? Another way is this: just close the session and automatically it will get deleted, right? So if I will close the session, then what will happen? So let's see if it exists or not. Now just close this session and we will reopen it and we'll see whether it's there or not. So I have closed it. Okay. Now I am opening it again. Now let's quickly connect with our local host. It's done, and let's copy the code. Okay, I cannot copy. Let's use the same file and run this query. Okay, now let's check whether our temporary table is here or not. So for that, what we can write here, select all from our temporary table. Okay, and let's run it. So here you can see that we are getting an error and it is written here, table in this database, this table temporary salary summary table doesn't exist. Means now it's vanished. Okay, so either you can manually drop the table while working, or once you will close your session, it will automatically get deleted. So this is our temporary tables. We have learned so many things about it. They are very useful while doing the analysis part. So from tomorrow, which is day 41, we are going to start our project part. All right, guys. So see you tomorrow and keep practicing. Bye-bye.